Hi, I'm Tabriz, and today we're going to discuss Introduction to Microeconomics. So, welcome to MR Coaching Center. First of all, there have been so many discussions that whether we have to start a YouTube channel for commerce students or not. But we have decided that we're gonna bring some series videos, a series of videos in which we're gonna cover all the topics and specifically tailored for your exam-oriented classes, kind of exam-oriented classes. So, all right, today we'll start with microeconomics and hope to cover this chapter in under 10 minutes. Let's see. Yeah. So, what is microeconomics? So, microeconomics, before that, we can talk about what is economics. Economics is a study of how people use limited resources in order to satisfy their unlimited goals. Just take a small example. I'll just take a small example. For example, you can see my video quality, right? So before it was not that good. If you see the before video, like this is the first video in this commerce playlist, but if you see some science playlist video, you can see the video quality is not good. So at that time, you had a choice, like within 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees, just some X amount, I can buy either this kind of a webcam or that kind of a webcam. So I had limited resources, but I had unlimited wants. I was thinking like in my brain, ki, why don't I buy both? But I don't have that kind of resources, right? So economics is a study in which people use limited resources in order to satisfy their unlimited wants. And yeah, I have prepared some DVD for you. You can go ahead and see this. Yeah. So resources like time, money, and raw materials, those are the resources which are limited, but we have unlimited wants for that. What is microeconomics specifically? So microeconomics looks at the smaller picture. For example, I'll give you an example of this webcam which I'm using currently. Ki in microeconomics, if I'm just talking about in microeconomics, I'm just if I'm talking about just my budget, my finances, how I'm dealing with my finances, ki how much do I need in order to maintain the same lifestyle which I'm currently maintaining. So if I'm talking about my lifestyle, if I'm talking about specific my budgeting, everything that is known, that comes under microeconomics. That's a smaller picture. If you're studying individual transactions, so what about macroeconomics then? So in economics, we have two types, that is micro and macro. In macroeconomics specifically, you can say ki, let's look at the bigger picture. For example, if the price of the aloo got rise like 70%, if I study what it would, how it would affect my budget, so that comes under microeconomics. If I'm studying how it will affect thousands of Indians' budget, so that would become an economical problem in that case. That would be studied under macroeconomics. And let's discuss some central problems of an economy. That is what to produce, how to produce, and whom to produce. These are three biggest questions that every economy has to answer. So that is this question: what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. So these are known as the central problems of an economy. So next we can discuss types of economy. So there are three types. There are three types. First one is capitalist, second one is socialist, third one is mixed. What do you mean by capitalist economy? Capitalist economy is a type of economy which is mostly controlled by market. Yeah, we can say it is mostly controlled by market, like US. Okay, there has been a great significance of Wall Street in US. So it's a type of economy which is mostly controlled by the market, like US. Socialist economy, type of economy which is mostly controlled by the government. Like in government wants to see what you're doing, what not you're doing, everything. They want to control each and everything. So like North Korea, actually there may be a case study I would mention in the description. You can just go ahead and study about the North Korea, how North Korea is a socialist economy. Then we have mixed economy like India. I feel like India is kind of socialist economy, but yeah. So it is according to the textbook, it's a mixed economy. Yeah, market as well as government both controls the whole economy. Then we can talk about micro versus macro. Yeah. So in microeconomy, we study individual units. In macroeconomy, we study the whole economy as a unit. Yeah. So Here there's an example. You think of it as like one student, okay, one student studying in a class. So if you're studying about if you're talking about an individual student, that would be considered in microeconomics. If you're talking about the entire class, a bunch of students, those would be considered under macroeconomics. And let's talk about their importance, so we can say their significance. Yeah, price setting, they help us to calculate like, yeah, understand how prices are set in the markets. Production decisions, like how firms decide what to produce and for whom to produce as well. So policy making, it helps the government to make economic policies. You can say it would benefit economic policies, yeah, economic policies which would benefit people. But I guess that's true. Okay. Anyways, microeconomics helps us understand how prices are set, how firms decide what to produce, and how it will help government to make policies which would eventually help public. Can understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Summary, and because we can just recap whatever we have studied. We studied what is economy. Economy economy is a study in which it's not a study, okay, in which the people use limited resources in order to satisfy their unlimited wants. So, and what is microeconomic? Well, you study the individual transaction. Okay, well, you study individual as a unit. Okay, individual units of an economy, that is known as microeconomy. And central problems: what to produce, how to produce, whom to produce. And you can say types of economy: microeconomy, types of economy: capitalist, socialist, and mixed economy. Capitalist, something where type of economy where mostly it would be controlled by markets. Then, what do you mean by socialist? Mostly controlled by the government. What do you mean by mixed? Kind of, we can say, mixture of capitalist and socialist economy, controlled by the government as well, and market as well. That is known as types of economy. And we are studying macro versus micro. There's macro, we study individual unit, and in macro we study um, not individual, like whole economy. Okay, whole economy as a unit. So yeah. So here's a quick quiz for you. What are the three central problems of an economy? What type of economy does India follows? What's the main difference between micro and macro economy? We have discussed. You can get back to me with a detailed answer. Let's see. And anyhow, we have made this PPT using AI. So hope to bring this kind of content. And please suggest if anything can be better. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. And if you feel it is helpful, even 10%, if it is helpful, please share this video with your friends as well. Thank you.